سلام به همگی به کلاس فارسی خوش اومدین. Hey everyone and welcome to Farsi class. I'm Mahsa from LLB Society and in today's lesson we're going to learn the Persian alphabet together. But before starting out, there are two things I want to mention. First is that Farsi is written from right to left. That means whenever you open a book written in Farsi or even your Farsi practicing notebook, you're going to open it from the right. The next thing is that Farsi letters can get attached together, but be careful that I'm saying they can get attached, because some of the letters are isolated and they do not get attached to other letters. With that said, now let's get started. The Persian alphabet contains 32 letters. The first letter is called Alif. As you see here, Alif has two forms. The different forms of a letter depends on where they appear in a word. This one is called آی اول, the initial A, and it sounds like A. This is how you would write it. You would first draw a line from top to bottom, and then you put this little hat thing on it. I can do it a couple of times for you. So this is the initial A, so on and so forth. So as its name suggests, it comes at the beginning of the words. For example, in the words آب, آن, آش. And if you're asking yourself, yes, there are longer words containing the initial A, but for the sake of simplicity, let's just stick to these. If you don't know the meaning of these words or the other letters these words contain, it's okay. The thing we do care about right now is that the letter A, the initial A, does not get attached to the letters coming after it. That's something we care a lot about in Farsi. So be careful of that. What if you wanted to use A in the middle or at the end of a word? That's when you would use the non-initial A, which looks like this. It looks just like the initial one, but it lacks the hat. So if you were to write it, you would draw a line from top to bottom. Some words containing this are the words baba, tab, my stylus is acting a little weird. I can do that again. And also the word ra. As you see here, again, A is not attached to letters on the left-hand side of it, but whether it gets attached to letters on the right-hand side really depends on the letters coming on the right. So in this word, in the word ra, it's not attached to it, but in the words baba and tab, it is. Well, one other thing to mention about the non-initial A is that it can have other sounds rather than A, but we'll cover that in another lesson on vowels. Let's move on to the next letter. The next letter in Farsi is called B. B sounds B. As you see here, again it has two forms, but this time it's not about being initial or non-initial, it's about being non-ending B or ending B. This one is the non-ending B, which means it comes either at the beginning or in the middle of the words. This is how you would write it down. B. Really be careful not to forget the dot under it. It's very important. B. Do you remember my last example, baba? This word contains the non-ending B in it. Be careful of the way it's written. B, it's attached to a letter coming after it. One other example would be the word babr. As you can see, This word contains two of these, one in the beginning and the other in the middle. One other example would be the word ball. The other form of be, the ending be, looks like this. As you can see, because of the curve here, nothing can get attached to it. And here I will show you how to write it. This is how you would write it. Be. You can think of it as a thing like a boat. Do you remember my example ob? This contains one initial a and an ending be. Other examples are the words bob and the word top. As you can see, here in the ending be, there is nothing to get attached to on the left-hand side. But if possible, depending on the letter coming on the right-hand side, it can get attached to a letter on the right. Let's move on to the next letter, the third letter of Farsi, which is the last letter we're working on today. Looks familiar, doesn't it? This is the letter P. P sounds like P, and as you can see, it looks very much like the letter B, with a difference of having 3 dots under it. But the rules about it, like how it gets attached to other letters, is just like B. And this is how you would draw it. And one thing to mention here is that you can put the dots like this or like this in order to be faster. It only depends on your taste of beauty, so whatever way you find more beautiful, you can write it that way. But just in case you see these kinds in someone's handwriting, they are all the same. These are all the same. Some words containing this, some words containing this non-initial form of P, what's going on? I really wanted to say the non-ending P. Some words containing that would be the words pa, پدر, پتو. In all these 3 words, as you can see, P is attached to the letter coming after it. The second form of P, the ending P, looks like this, and you would write it like this. You can put the dots like this, or like this. So, some words containing this are the words top. Sorry for that. What's happening to my stylus? So, top, or the word for pop music, pop. Or the word tube. I've run out of lines. This brings us to the end of today's lesson. I strongly recommend you to practice writing Farsi. For example, write a whole line of each letter, each time pronouncing its name and the sound it makes. Or you can find some Farsi text for yourself and highlight the letters you have learned in them. This will help you a lot for recognizing the letter whenever you see it in a word. Also, you can check out our website where you can find worksheets to practice on. You can download them and print them to practice writing on. If you have any questions, you can ask them in the comment section on our website, lelb.net. Till the next time, see ya!